Hi guys, I hope that you can see me okay. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know what I need to be doing, but we are gonna do my updated Dyson routine at the moment. So I just got out of the shower, threw some makeup on really quick. I'm going to use my heat protectant. This is a Redken 25 Benefits 1 United, and then we will comb it through. I have found that the key to this, for me, staying put, is a sea salt spray. I'm going to use dry shampoo while my hair is still wet before I blow dry it. Some sort of texturizing spray for after the fact. So I have Schwarzkopf Got to Be Beach Trippin', which I really like this one. And then I have Sexy Hair Texture Surfer Girl. This one, it smells better than this one, but this one is going to give you more of that grit when you're done with your hair, so I would use this one sparingly if you use this one. This one adds texture, but it's not as gritty as this one, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure which one of these I'll use today, but I'm going to spray my dry shampoo in. This is Design Me Quickie Me dry shampoo spray for light tones. This is from Pacifica. It was like, I don't know if it was $11 to $14 from Target. Let that all through, and then we can start blow drying. I'm also going to be using some of these clips that I got off of Amazon. Okay, so I've got my Dyson. I have it on high heat, high speed, and I'm going to put in the blow dry attachment, and we're just going to have it on this open part, and I'm going to blow dry my roots really quick. Okay, so this is what we look like now. It's a little crazy, but it's fine. What I'm going to do is take my brush, still just trying to make sure like everything is tangle free, especially from flipping my head upside down. Now back here is still kind of wet. I think I might take the blow dryer to that again. It does work without the top, just so y'all know, if you need like a more concentrated air. Now, because we added those like texturizing stuffs to our hair, it's not gonna feel like super smooth when you're brushing through it. That's okay, you want the grit there. I'm just going to take this triangle piece of my bangs. This isn't all of my bangs, but this is the part that like isn't most important to me here in the front. I'm going to use this guy. I'm going to start it before I have it on. I'm going to wrap it around, and now I'm going to turn it on. And I'm just moving that back, rolling it back, moving it out, rolling it back like this to really work and maneuver the hair in for about 10 seconds with the heat going back and forth. I'm going to hold it there for about 5 seconds, and then I'm going to cool shot it for about another 10. And then we just take that out and re-curl it. Now, I am buying curlers. I know I said this before in my last video. I still mean it. I just haven't gotten around to it, and I know that it'll make life so much more easier when it comes to this right here. So I'm just trying to get this as best as I can. And then I'm taking one of these clips. These came with, I don't know if it was 3 or 4 sizes, but I'm taking the smaller ones. What the heck happened to that guy? I don't want to use him. Just taking the smaller ones, and that's not a small one. Gosh dang it. Gosh dang it. And clipping this guy on both sides because I know that he will have a problem, staying. So we got that. Now let's go on to the rest of our hair, and I'm going to be using the smaller of the 2 barrels just because I like a tighter curl. That way, after it sits for the day, the next day, and I brush it out and everything, it gets that nice wave to it. So let's do this baby. And I am going to work like around these the top part of my head first and then go to the back, because I want these to be set in like the rolling curl position and have the longest to cool and sit, because that's where I want like the most, you know? So I'm going to part this mohawk section out. Like I said, we have a bunch of texture and grit going on in our hair, so things are not going to be easy to separate, but they are going to make your stuff last longer. So I am working all of these away from my face for this hair situation I'm doing today. I do this as one big section. It's about the apex of my head from right behind my veins. Making sure that everything is going back away from my head. Okay, and then I'm going to grab here and here. I don't know where I'm at in the camera frame, that's why I'm bending down. The barrel is going to be a little hot, so be careful. And then I'm just going to slide it right out. And then take a big pin, because this is a bigger section of hair. Slide it in and pin it. And I'm going to take one on the other side too, because again, this is a bigger section of hair. And we look like this. Okay. So now, again, this will look a lot better if I actually had rollers, but this will do the job. So hang with me. Again, it's hot. Be careful. So now that we have this kind of doing this crazy thing, I'm going to take some of my texturizing spray, and I'm just going to spray it while it's in this crazy state. And give it some hold while we're here. And that's it for the top. Now let's go on to the rest. Kind of look like a queen or princess, like from the 1800s, you know? How they, wait until we get the rest of our hair curled. It'll be fun. So I'm gonna split this into two. I usually start with the left side of my hair, because it's thinner, so it dries quicker. But because y'all are over here, I will start with the right side. That way we'll just like speed and magically have this side done. Okay, so I'm making sure that my little arrow guy, it would roll this way. When the arrow, when it's pointed at this arrow, it's gonna roll away from your head this way. So this side, switch it this side. Unless you want your curls, you know, alternating for a more natural look, then you can just, which I do sometimes as well. But today I wanted a more uniform, actual like blowout situation. So, yeah, we're going away from our face. For these side pieces, I like to keep it on and pull through. So I'll have the cool shot going, I'll leave it sitting there for a few seconds. Then with the cool shot still going, I'll pull it through, because as you pull it through, you'll see that it like wraps around again tighter. And then I will take that section that I did, put my thumb through the bottom here, and if you just kind of go straight up, you'll go right through the center of that curl for the most part with no problem. And then you can clip it out of the way or in its place. So, just like that. And again, I don't worry about it being perfect because it's gonna do the job, believe me. And so now, I'm just gonna go through the rest of my hair, doing the exact same thing that I did here. I'm gonna do the hot, let it sit there for about 10 seconds, cool shot it until I feel like the coolness on my head. That's usually when I know. And then still holding the cool shot with it on, pull all the way through, then turn off my Dyson after it's left my hair. Then thread my finger through, pin it onto the next section. Also, this is another thing. You'll see me like sometimes turn the Dyson or just bring it up. The point, just feeding it in, your hair will start to travel down here. And once it starts to get to the bottom of the barrel, that's usually when I try to roll. That way I can manipulate my hair staying on the barrel. And depending on the size of the section of hair, that will determine like what size of clip I use, if I think it's going to be secure or not. And once I like start to feed the curl into itself, whichever way the base wants to lay, whether it's downwards or to the side, I will just go ahead and pin it like that and leave it alone. As I pull my Dyson down out of my hair, you'll see that on occasion I will like hold my other hair out of the way, and that's because as you pull it down, the rest of your hair does have the potential of trying to wrap itself in the Dyson. So be careful for that. That's why I will like hold the rest of my hair out of the way, just so that doesn't happen. I mean, it's pretty easy to just differentiate and get it out of there, but just save some time to not have to get stray pieces of hair out of your already curled hair. That's all. This piece right here, I'm already like seeing how it's going this way. I'm actually going to switch it around so that way it will roll under, and that way I can pin it under, if that makes sense, I hope. You'll see that I did put my hand by my ear behind the barrel, just because it did start to get kind of hot, and it was hot on my ear because I have it on high heat. So I just, you know, protected my ear a little bit. And also I did manipulate it, and I changed the direction so that I could get it out in the same way that I had been getting the other ones out, by, pulling it through. This is gonna be kind of complicated to pin. I don't know if I got it or not. Good enough. Same thing with this one. I'm going to do it under because of the direction. If you feel like your hair isn't wrapping around, just bring it down and go in and out, and it'll start to loosen those hairs and get it to wrap all the way. I do get confused sometimes rolling my hair, so let's ignore me acting weird and acting confused, because I am confused. It's not acting. Spraying again. I sprayed myself in the eyeball. Don't do that. Let's be mindful of our eyeballs. It's starting to get fumey in here. Okay, so now we are gonna have these like, there's gonna be a few sections here in the back that you're gonna want to like separate, because these are gonna go straight back as well. Okay, yeah, that's the wrong direction. If it pushes your hair, when you hold it underneath, you always want to hold your hair underneath. If it pushes it away from the barrel, wrong direction, then you want to go in. I'm going to be doing these ones the same way that I did the top ones, and the ones here around the side, where I'm going to make sure that they are angled under. These ones I'm doing the same way that I did the top of my hair. I'm not going to pull them through. I'm just going to pull that out and leave them in this area. There's really not a huge rhyme or reason why I do this. Again, I told you that like on these sides when I do pull through, it does like extra wrap that curl so that those will stay longer. But when it's up on the top of your head, that's just a little bit more complicated. But instead of like letting it all the way go and then having to roll it again, you're already like keeping it in that set spot. So either of those will help a bunch. I'm gonna do this whole last section as one piece, and then I'll just speak through my other side. I do, for the most part, like to spray section by section, just so that way it all gets an even hold. Like I'll finish this section, spray it, finish this one, spray it. That way they're all at the same level of kind of like dry, cool, you know, to spray. I don't know. It may not make a difference. In my head, it does. A few little spritz to get it damp again, to where it'll easily conform to what you want. Okay, again, making sure the arrows are the way that I want them to. And then we'll go on and be done. And so now that we look like Triceratops, love that for us, I will go over once more the spray, and I do like to go over and add a little bit of this. Now, since this is more of a, it's not a dry like spray like that one, like hairspray, it's a more of a mist. I use this one very sparingly because I'm not trying to re-wet my hair. So I just, and let that zhuzh. Oh, that actually tastes salty. Did not mean to eat that. Ew. So now that we look like this, I'm going to let this set for about 30 minutes is what I do. Now, of course, if you're on a time crunch, do what you can. The more time, the longer that you have, the better. So that's why I will do this like in the morning right after a shower. Usually, I'll do this and then do my makeup, because then by the time I'm done with my makeup, I can take my curls out and be fine. But because I'm doing this video, I didn't want to look scary on camera for y'all, because I don't use filters on my videos. But so I didn't want to look like crazy scary. I needed to have myself a little together, so I did my makeup first. But normally, I would do this first, then do my makeup, come back, and be done. So there's that. So I'm gonna let this sit for a few minutes. I'll probably go wash dishes and vacuum, and then I'll come back and we'll take these out, and I will show you how wild this can be when you first take it out. Okay? Okay. All right, guys, we are back sometime later. I'm going to shoot my hair with some hairspray really quick. This is just a flexible control swab one. Just shoot. And let's get these babies out. I start with the back first and then work my front, just so the front still has more time to hang out, you know? And this is not me telling you guys that you have to do it this way. If you have a routine with a Dyson that works for you, awesome. This is what works for me. And maybe if you're just having some trouble, like getting your hair to stay or hold, maybe you can try some of this out. Let's see what you think. That's all this is. And I just like to flip my head around and shake it out, and I will like brush it out later on, like at the end of the day, and then sleep in it, and I'll still have some like good like curl going on. All right, guys, here's the moment of truth. This is gonna look wild, okay? we just manipulate the hair to do the stuff that we want. Run my fingers through it. So yeah, guys, this is how I get my voluminous Dyson hair. I'm gonna add some hair oil, and it stays like pretty nicely for me, and I will like take a wide tooth comb. Like I said, I brush it out at the end of the day just so I can have that longevity at first. But I will take a comb every once in a while like this right after taking it out. And this is just gonna help get some of that like excess product out of your hair, so it'll be like touchable and soft again. And then especially when we put hair oil in too. So, and the bangs will figure themselves out soon enough. Like, I'm not too worried about those. You can even like roll them forward when you do them, whatever, but I do them like this because by the time that they settle down, they actually fold the way that I want them to. Light amount, just whoosh. And we're good to go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this helped a little bit if you're like struggling with your Dyson or your hair staying. Even if your hair stings with a regular curling iron, you could still try and pin it up and see if it helps and add the texturing. But yeah, this is my new current routine with my Dyson. I will catch you in next video. Bye, bitches.